Who gives this woman to be wed?
Her mother and father.
You can all take a seat. You're gathered here for the wedding of Matt and Michele. I ask that if you're comfortable, you would join us in a prayer from Robert Louis Stevenson. Lord, behold our family here assembled. We thank you for this place in which we dwell, for the love that unites us, for the peace accorded us this day, for the hope with which we expect the morrow, for the health, the work, the food, and the bright skies that make our lives delightful, from our friends in all parts of the earth. Amen. I'd like to invite Matt's Aunt Rachel up for a reading.
From 1 Corinthians, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. Invitation to Love by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Come when the nights are bright with stars, or when the room is mellow. Come when the sun's golden bars drops on the hayfield yellow. Come in the twilight, soft and gray. Come in the night, or come in the day. Come, O love, whene'er you may, and you are welcome, welcome. You are sweet, O love, dear love. You are soft as the nested dove. Come to my heart and bring it rest, as the bird flies home to its welcome nest. Come when my heart is full of grief, or when my heart is merry. Come with the falling of a leaf, or with the red cherry. Come when the year's first blossom blows. Come when the summer leaves and blows. Come with the winter's drifting snows, and you are welcome, welcome.
I don't know all of you the way that I know Matt and Michele, but I assume since you're here, you share in their party-loving quality, and so we're going to keep the ceremony short and sweet so we can get to the party. But I know that they're thrilled that you're all here, and I know that you are all very important to them, so thank you for being here. Anytime I do a wedding, I ask the couple to sit down with me and go through some questions, which I did with Matt and Michele, and I've not done too many, but you can kind of tell who's been talking about the important things and who hasn't. And as we went through the questions, and you know, they took turns answering first to see if the other would match their answer, and I knew they were in good shape because no matter who went first, every time Matt said exactly what Michele told him to. And so I figured he's already got this marriage thing down pat.
Took a little training.
Yeah. Marriage in itself is kind of a wild concept. If you take the religion out of it and the tradition and the history, and you just look at the biology and the practicality of it, it doesn't quite make sense that you would decide one day with all the 7 billion people on earth that you will commit the rest of your life to just one person. And then you meet them. And everything changes, and all of a sudden, what seemed impractical becomes rational, and that's how marriage works, and that's why we're here today. A while ago, I saw a video, and it was of a beanstalk growing, and I don't know if any of you are agriculture people or have seen the way that a beanstalk grows, but it really is interesting. As it grows, it sort of winds about in a circular motion. And it does that for the first few days, few weeks as it grows. And it reminds me a lot of us. In the early parts of our lives, we're figuring things out. We're growing, but sometimes it seems sporadic or confused. But what you also see in the video is you see in the same pot a popsicle stick that's there to support the beanstalk. And as the beanstalk reaches a certain point in its maturity, it hits that support. And when it hits that support, the wide sweeping motion of the plant becomes very focused. And it starts to grow more up and less out. And it's because it's had that support. Similar to our lives, oftentimes, while we're figuring things out, we have people in our lives, but we don't have that one person just yet. And then you meet that one person. And all of a sudden, all your energy, your focus is honed because they complement you so well. And what's really amazing about the beanstalk is that once it's grown and full and matured, it doesn't look back at the popsicle stick and say, I don't need you anymore. It looks back and it says, I don't know how I ever could have gotten here without you. And so Matt and Michele, as you grow together and thrive together, my prayer is that you will look back on this day and the years before this and say, man, I don't know how we could have ever gotten here without it. Likewise, all of you are here because, as I mentioned, I assume you're important to Matt and Michele. And it is equally our responsibility as witnesses of a ceremony like this to see Matt and Michele succeed and excel. It was John Legend, a Daytonian, who said, there will be heartache and pain. And we know that to be true if you're married or not married in this room. You know that there's times of heartache and pain. And whether it's those times or the times of joy and celebration, it's the people in this room that will come around you and will be your popsicle sticks and will watch you not only grow, but thrive. Matt and Michele are now going to take part in the Unity Candle Ceremony. So we're going to have a moment of transition as we step back to the table. The taper candles represent not only Matt and Michele, but also their families. It is their families who, through love and support, help shape who they are. The center candle represents their marriage, the joining of two friends with the added roles of husband and wife. It is the light of love and the light of new beginnings. From this day onward, may its light shine bright and steady upon your path together. We are gathered here together to join Matt and Michele in the commitment of marriage. This covenant is not to be entered into lightly, but with thoughtful and serious, and with a deep realization of its obligations and its responsibilities. And now, Matt, do you take Michele to be your wife? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect her, forsaking all others and holding only unto her forevermore?
I do.
And Michele, do you take Matt to be your husband? Do you promise to love, honor, cherish, and protect him, forsaking all others and holding only unto him forevermore?
I do.
Matt and Michele now exchange rings as a symbol of love and commitment to each other. Rings are a precious metal, and they're made more precious by your wearing them. Your wedding rings are special. They enhance who you are. They mark the beginning of your long journey together. Your wedding ring is a circle, a symbol of love never ending. It is the seal of the vows that you are about to take to love each other without end. At the same time, they are not your marriage, and they are not your love. They are simply an outward expression of an inner decision that you're making today. Michele, please place the ring on Matt's left hand and repeat after me. Matt, I take you today to be my husband.
Matt, I take you today to be my husband.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and health.
In sickness and health.
All the days of my life.
All the days of my life.
Matt, can you place your ring on Michele's hand and repeat after me? Michele, I take you today to be my wife.
Michele, I take you today to be my wife.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
To have and to hold from this day forward.
For better, for worse.
For better, for worse.
For richer, for poorer.
For richer, for poorer.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
All the days of my life.
All the days of my life.
And now, by the power invested in me by God, the Ohio Secretary of State, and the Internet, it is my honor and delight to declare you married. Matt, you can kiss your bride. I'm pleased for now to present Matt and Michele.